Hello, everyone. It's your favorite lovable, huggable, hard green cocoon. That's right, it's Metapod. That's me. And today we're going to play some Mega Man on the Mega Man Anniversary Collection. I know Mega Man Let's Plays have been done a lot before, but I'm going to play with the Navi mode turned on, which is a special feature that was added to the Anniversary Collection editions, which is just brought over from the Complete Works versions, which were on the PlayStation 1 in Japan. And Navi mode pretty much just adds a few little tweaks to the game, like rearrange music, a new graphical interface, and some little hints strewn about here and there. Like, you'll get these little exclamation marks, and you can press the select button, and a navigator, like Dr. Light or Roll, will call Mega Man and give him some hints about the stage. However, in this English version, they're so poorly translated, they're often misleading or don't make any sense at all. But anyway, the original Mega Man game was released on the NES in 1987, and at that time it was really amazing game because it did some things that games hadn't done before, and the main one is, you'll see here in a second, there's no title screen music, is that you're given the ability to choose the order of the stages that you play. And depending on the order you choose, Mega Man will get different power-ups at the end of these stages, and those can help you in the other stages. And each stage has a boss, each of which is weak to a special weapon that you get in a different stage. And they all kind of follow this chain that people call like rock, paper, scissors chain, because A is weak to B, B is weak to C, and C is weak to A. But I mean, there's 6 of them, not 3. Anyway, I choose Fireman stage first because it's a fairly simple stage. It's easy. The hazards are pretty simple and straightforward, and I like to get Fireman's weapon early because it's one of the better weapons in the game, if not the best weapon in the game, for me at least. Well, I guess it just depends on which one you want to use more, because there are a few that are really useful. I make a lot of mistakes here. Please don't mind that. I play on the Game Bridge, which, in addition to being laggy, has a really low frame rate, so doing things with precision or nicer timing usually throw me off. But a lot of times I'll get lucky and do it right, and then sometimes I just completely screw up. So, yeah. Anyway, this game also, if you notice, I was just able to call Dr. Light about, I think the footing or something, how there's not a lot of footing here and you can fall into the magma. And, you can do that throughout the game when you see those exclamation points. Just press select, as long as you have the Navi mode turned on. You'll also notice in the top left, Mega Man's energy looks very different than the original game, which was just a much more simplistic looking bar. And the menus look a little different too. A lot different, really. And you can see a little Mega Man head, and it tells you how many lives Mega Man has left. This game also had a story to it, which was kind of interesting. The world's leading scientist, researcher, Dr. Thomas Xavier Light of robotics, built some android robots, and he first created 2 named Rock and Roll, which were pretty much household servant robots. Rock helped in the lab, and he was like a little boy, and the little girl Roll was like a maid. And then he started creating more general, like public service, what would you call them? More useful to everyone robots. And he had kind of an old rival who got jealous and decided to take all of his robots, aside from his personal housekeeping ones, and reprogram them to cause destruction and mayhem. So Dr. Light took his lab assistant boy, Rock, and gave him a weapon and maybe some new programming and things, and turned him into a warrior named Mega Man. And that's what you see here. And here I'm fighting Fireman. It's really easy if you just stand in place and wait for him to come up to you and shoot when he does, and then jump over the firestorm. And then you'll get Fireman's weapon at the end. Yay. But it's never the same as the weapon they use. It's just kind of a special ability based on them. And you see you get points. Points don't do anything in this game at all. But you can get them. So after using Fireman, you'll see his stage has been blacked out. You can actually choose to go back to stages again, but of course the boss that you've defeated isn't going to be there anymore because you've already defeated them. But there's an item that you can get within a stage, and you can miss it, so you can go back and get it later. Anyway, you see here now I'm able to change over to the Firestorm and use that weapon instead of the traditional Buster that I was using before. And now Mega Man fires a larger fireball instead of a little bullet. And he also gets a shield of flames around him during this time. That's really useful because the shield can take out most enemies in one hit, and so can the fireball. So this becomes a really invaluable ability throughout the game. Somewhere around here you should be able to find... Yeah, I wonder where it is. So, Bombman's stage looks really interesting. I like the background. It looks neat. You climb up and those little things aren't there anymore. I don't know. I just like the way it looks. Yeah, I got hit, so I'm gonna go grab this energy thing down here. But the way a Mega Man level proceeds is pretty simple. Just get to the exit and you'll find some shutters, and there's a boss back there. Essentially you can run, jump, and use your weapons. When you start you just have a single bullet, and you'll get more as you go through the game. These things are called Sniper Joe, which is a recurring enemy throughout the entire series. There are a lot of recurring enemies, but this is one of the most famous and most recurring, I guess. The ones in this game are insane. They don't open regularly, and they fire somewhat quickly, and if you go too close to them, they'll just hop around everywhere. This is an example of what not to do in this area. This area is a lot easier if you just go quickly. And I try to take it slow and kill things. That's not a good idea. Destroying enemies is not always the best idea. The point is just to get to the end. I mean, you don't get experience points or anything like that, so a lot of times sitting and fighting enemies can actually be more hazardous than it is helpful. Plus, if you're using special weapons, then you're going to be running out of special weapon energy. If you see in the top left corner right now, there's two bars. The left one represents Mega Man's energy, which when that runs out, he's dead. And then the right represents his weapon energy for the Firestorm, which I'm using right now. And each weapon has its own set of weapon energy, and when it runs out you can't use that weapon anymore. It refills at the beginning of each stage though, and you can find items to refill it, but you still have to conserve it somewhat. You'll notice I just used the shield to blast right through the Sniper Joe because I didn't want to mess with it. Now notice here you don't have to fire at all. As long as you keep jumping, you'll make it right over all of that stuff. That was a lot easier than what it was before. And that checkpoint was really far back from where I was. And you'll also notice that the stage layout is really similar to what it was before. In a lot of old games, especially this one, they'll reuse stage layouts and stuff like that because it saves space on the cart and it was easier to program and things like that. I don't remember what these things are called. They look like tellies. I've always called them hamburgers. Well, not always. My friends started calling them hamburgers and it just kind of stuck. And yeah, if you go through there, that little Mega Man head will give you a 1-up. That Sniper Joe always gets stuck in that wall and stuff like that. I'm just gonna barge through this guy because I don't really care. Bombman himself is really easy to defeat. Right here, you can just fall down. This is something also interesting about the first Mega Man is the area between the shutters had enemies in it, and there were different shapes and things, and that kind of went away for most of the entire series. So that was something nice that this game did that the others didn't. Now you notice when I hit Bombman with the Firestorm, it did a decent amount of damage to him. I guess the Buster is doing pretty good damage too, but not nearly as much as the Firestorm did. And yeah, he's kind of a spaz, so I got hit by him kind of a lot there. But yeah, I grabbed his weapon. I'm running out of time, so we'll just talk more next time, okay? Thanks.